Hi, welcome to Moviecaps. Today, I'm going to explain an American Christmas black comedy film, titled Bad Santa. Released in the year 2003. Before we begin, warning, spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. At the beginning of the film, we see Willie. He is an alcoholic man. He drinks every day. However, Willie is an expert lock cracker. Willie, along with his miniature assistant, Marcus Skidmore, are professional thieves, who pose as a department store Santa Claus, and his elf every year, and then rob the store on Christmas Eve. Each Christmas the pair change their names, and take positions in a new store in a new town. And each year they rob the store after closing, on Christmas Eve, then go their separate ways, before reconvening next festive season, to do it all again. Willie has little respect for himself, nor his accomplices Marcus, and his wife Lois. After their most recent job, Willie vows to stop drinking, and to never put on the Santa suit again. 11 months later, Willie continues his alcoholic ways in Miami, where he spends his days drinking, committing petty thefts. When he gets the call from Marcus, Willie forgets his vow, and heads off to Phoenix for his next job. Marcus and Willie supplant the existing Santa at the Saguaro Square Mall, with their duo act. The prudish department store manager Bob Chipeska begins to regret his decision almost immediately, when Willie has trouble controlling his temper, and a vulgar mouth. Nevertheless, Marcus convinces Bob to hire them. Once employed, Willie begins a downward spiral of drinking and thieving. Soon after, Bob catches Willie. He was angry with him and decides to fire both the Santa and his little elf. However, Marcus and Willie convince Bob that firing on an African-American little person will bring a tremendous amount of negative press to the department store, so they keep their jobs. Nevertheless, Bob reports his concerns to the security chief Gin Slagle. Slagle begins investigating the store, Santa, and his little elf. One day, Willie is barely entertaining visiting children, due to a drunken stupor. He is visited by an overweight boy, named Thurman Merman. Thurman is not very bright, and believes that Willie is the real Santa. Additionally, Thurman is constantly bullied by a group of teenage skateboarders. Thurman follows Willie, one night when he goes to a nearby bar. Luckily Willie meets Sue, a bar waitress, with a Santa fetish. When Sue leaves, Willie is attacked by a random man, who appears to hate Santa Claus. Thurman intervenes to help Willie, and chases off the random man. Willie gives Thurman a ride home, to thank him. Once at Thurman's house, Willie discovers that Thurman lives with only his senile grandmother. Thurman's mother has died, and his father is in prison. Willie cases the house looking for things to steal, once he becomes aware that there is not a competent adult in the house. He settles for stealing the Merman family BMW, as Thurman waves vacantly goodbye. Once Willie gets to his rundown motel room, he finds someone searching his room. He returns to Thurman's house, and decides to stay with the lonely boy and his grandmother at the hideout. Marcus is angry with Willie for drawing unnecessary attention to himself. Slagle continues to investigate Marcus and Willie and discovers that Willie is living with Thurman. He researches the boy's background, and interviews Thurman's father in prison, who knows nothing about Willie staying at the house. Slagle confronts Willie and Marcus about their operation rather than reporting it to the police. He blackmails the two holiday crooks, and tells them that they can continue with the operation as long as he gets half the proceeds. Willie and Marcus are upset about Slagle's request for the stolen money and items, but they don't immediately see a way out of the security officer's grip. Willie and Marcus' relationship continues to deteriorate, as Willie's drinking gets even worse. Willie begins showing up to work drunk, and Marcus and Slagle become fed up with Willie's destructive behavior. Reaching the end of his rope, Willie attempts suicide, by inhaling exhaust fumes from the tailpipe of the Merman car, in the Merman garage. Thurman interrupts the suicide attempt and Willie gives him a suicide note, which confesses his crimes to give to the police after he is gone. Willie notices that Thurman has a black eye, and after being informed that the boy got it from some skateboarder bullies, Willie stops his suicide attempt, and beats up the skateboarding kids. Meanwhile, Marcus and Lois refuse to give in to Slagle, and set a trap for him. Marcus feigns car trouble along the side of the road, and when Slagle stops to help them, Lois crushes the security officer between the two cars, killing him. Unaware of Slagle's death, Willie prepares to celebrate Christmas Eve with Sue, Thurman, and Granny at the Merman household. Willie interrupts the festivities to finish the robbery job, with Lois and Marcus. Despite his attempts to sabotage the job, drunk Willie, along with Marcus and Lois burglarize the department store. However, Willie discovers that the store's industrial-size safe is supposedly unbreakable, and is uncertain whether he can open it. Nevertheless, Willie opens the safe and then proceeds to look for a stuffed elephant, the one item that Thurman requested for Christmas from his Santa. After finding the pink elephant, Willie is surprised to discover that Marcus and Lois intend to kill him, having become fed up with his increasing carelessness. However, the police unexpectedly show up and surround the three criminals, before Marcus can shoot Willie. The police, made aware of the robbery by Willie's letter that he gave to Thurman, begin a running shootout with Marcus, and chase after Willie. The criminal Santa escapes, and gets to his stolen car, desperate to get the stolen elephant to Thurman. Willie gets to Thurman's house, but he is shot multiple times on the doorstep of the Merman house, in front of dozens of children. Unbelievably, Willie survives. He is sent to prison where he writes to Thurman, and sends him presents. A letter to Thurman informs the audience that Willie received a reduced sentence due to outcry of the general public over the Phoenix Police Department shooting an unarmed Santa Claus in the back in front of children, and the fact that Willie wrote the letter that informed the police to the robbery. The letter also informs Thurman that Marcus and Lois ended up in prison, and that Sue ended up being made Thurman's legal guardian. Willie ends by telling Thurman that he will see him soon. Thurman proceeds to work on his bicycle, in the front yard, when the skateboard bully approaches him. Thurman kicks him in the groin, and flips the bully the bird before riding off. With this scene, this movie ends. So this is for today. I will see you in the next one. Till then, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon, to remain updated about all our future videos. See you at the next one.